What's going on, you guys? It's David back again with another video. I hope you guys are doing well today. And yeah, I hope the holidays went well. Hope you had some nice family time, nice dinners. And and we're going to hop right into it. On this topic, I want to talk about the fact that we have everything that we need within us internally. The average male, the average person, male or female, is constantly seeking attention, seeking validation through compliments and all these other things by trying to look their best for other people, trying to put on their best face for other people, trying to dress the best for other people. And it's in our human nature to do so. We want to be accepted. We want people to love us. We want people to value us. So we do all these things to get essentially an expectation or a reaction out of the people around us, whether they're our friends, our family, a boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, co-worker, or stranger. It really doesn't matter. We want to put ourselves to a pedestal so that we can be perceived a certain way. Now, I know this is not all people, but I'm simply speaking from a place of experience because I only like to talk about things that I'm either going through or have gone through. And it's a process, but it is such a common trait between human beings, and I don't think it's talked about enough. I don't think the fact that we have everything within ourselves is talked about nearly enough. And to my point of seeking validation or recognition or whatever from outside sources, it's all empty. You get that hit of gratification, and then the next minute you want to do everything in your power so that you can get that hit again, right? Let's say you're with your boyfriend or your girlfriend and you dress up. You don't usually dress up, right? So you dress up and they give you a compliment, and they usually don't give you a compliment. So you were really surprised and you were really taken aback and you really appreciated it. Now what do? Now you're dressing up all the time so you can get compliments. Slight example, but this is what I mean by seeking external validation, doing everything you can to receive external validation. But it's empty. It's empty. You keep chasing and chasing and chasing. And yes, it's like a black hole. You keep taking in, but there's no end to it. You know why? Because it's not coming from an internal, it's coming from a place of lack, not abundance. It's coming from a place of I don't have. And if you don't have, you will never have. But if you are abundant, then you always have in abundance. And I say all this to say that you have everything that you need internally. You have the confidence, you have the strength, you have the integrity, you have the personal power, you have the courage, whatever it is, you have the love, everything that you need to rely solely on yourself is within you. You do not need external validation from somebody else. Now, I'm not saying these things aren't nice. Yes, they are appreciated and they're nice, and I believe that God sends people to us sometimes to let us know, especially in hard times, that we are valued, X, Y, and Z. But it's different when you receive these things, and it's different when you let them just go to your ego. It's two different things. And even when those people give you compliments and they tell you X, Y, and Z about you, you really appreciate it, but for some reason you just don't believe it, right? That's why we keep chasing more compliments, even though a part of us, the internal part of us, just doesn't believe that it's true. This is why we keep chasing and chasing and chasing and taking in compliments. because this is why it's vanity. This is why it's an empty black hole. It's an abyss. But don't worry. Don't worry. All right? This is why we make a plan, right? We make a plan to add structure into our lives. We add a plan to add in the self-care, the self-talks, and everything in between that you need to do to become the best version of yourself. Why do I say we make a plan? We make a plan with daily tasks that we can cross off, and once we cross those off, we begin to build self-trust, which builds self-confidence, which builds self-reliance. Understand, right? Next, when we do self-care, it builds self-love. It's imperative that you understand that when you do these things for yourself, you start to fill up that cup that you continuously pour and pour and pour without even having anything. This is where we start to understand how abundant we are when we start to cross these things off, these steps, when we start to build the self-trust, when we start to build the self-reliance, when we start to build the confidence, the self-confidence, when we start to build the self-love, the self-discipline. This is when we start to feel abundant. This is when we start to feel like, okay, I don't need anything from you because I already have it internally. I don't need you to compliment me. I already love myself. And guess what? Even if you say that you don't like how I look, or you don't like my outfit, or this X, Y, and Z, it doesn't matter what you think, because this is what I like, and I'm gonna do what I like. This is what we call personal power. When you really recognize and understand that you have God-like power within you, you don't need anybody else. You don't need anything else. Yes, you can still have your aspirations, your goals, your dreams, and you can still strive to achieve them. But you're doing it for you and not for anybody else. Not so somebody else can say, hey, look at you. Like, you're doing awesome. Not for these exterior awards or compliments. No, you do it because it was placed in you by God to do so. This is your purpose. This is the reason that you live, right? This is why you do these things. It's not for anybody else but you. This is why we do this. Now you accept yourself. Now you believe yourself when you talk to yourself. You believe yourself when you say you're great. You believe yourself when you say you love yourself, right? Now we can receive compliments for ourselves. We don't have to go out and ask for or try to do so much so that we can get a certain reaction out of somebody. It's an expectation that will fall short, and when it does, you will be upset and destroyed because you expected somebody to give you something that you thought they were supposed to give you. It's not true. And more likely than not, everybody else around you is dealing with the same issue. Again, it's not all people, but it's some. It's a lot, actually. So this is why I brought this up, and I kind of just wanted to speak on it because I very much understand this concept. I very much understand, exactly this topic. So I just thought I'd bring it up, and there's only more. There's only abundance. So let's get to it. I'm on my way to the gym right now. You guys have a blessed rest of your day. Peace.